tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Arriving in meditation, coming into just a warm, simple presence with the body, the mind, the heart. As you find yourself present, you can take a few full breaths as a kind of reset, breathing in full, breathing out full, breathing in a little fuller, breathing out a little fuller or longer, and breathing in quite deep, holding the breath at the top for a moment, and letting a long breath out. Find a comfortable, perhaps slightly longer breath, or a little more deepened or sustained breath than you were in before we started. And you can give it a little label in the mind, long breath. This is the beginning of the sequence known as ānāpānasati, mindfulness of in and out breathing, in the heart of the Buddha's breath practice. And it begins with the recognition of long and short breaths. As we begin with a longer breath, a few factors come together. You're settling the body in the posture, and you're bringing in a breath that has the potential to ground and stabilize the energy. A slightly lengthened breath can both calm the nervous system if there's been activation or anxiety or stress, as well as uplift the energy if there's been dullness or sleepiness or torpor. And so mindfulness and some balancing of energy is a good place to start. And we add in a very simple kind of discernment, knowing that the breath is long. And if it helps to use the label long, or breathing in long, breathing out long. This can help to just connect us a little more with this breathing process that otherwise is autonomic, easy to wander away from. We begin with knowing the long breath. In your own time, if it feels good, take a few more long breaths. And maybe, again, if it feels energetically balancing, take quite a long, deep breath, maybe a little pause at the top, and a long, slow out breath. Usually the instruction is to breathe in and out through the nose, as a more refined and settled breath. But you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, which can feel like a little more of a release. Or in through the mouth and out through the mouth, which can feel a little more energetically and even emotionally arousing, if you want to lift the energy a little. You can play with it. But settling down, for most of us, into a nose breath, if the nose is clear enough of obstruction to breathe through. And after a few long breaths, then you might let go of pushing and pulling on the breath and even relax through the belly and chest and let the breath do whatever it wants, breathe itself, without you leaning in. And often what will happen there is you'll get some shorter breaths, especially if you really relax the belly. Immerse attention in the pool of the belly, in the pelvis, the bowl of the hips. Let the diaphragm move by itself. And then as you find some shorter breaths happening, give them the label, short breath, or breathing in short, breathing out short. And again, there's just that little bit of discernment, knowing the shorter breath. These are the first 2 steps of the 16 steps of mindfulness of breathing, ānāpānasati. Practicing with these 2 steps, we have the qualities of connecting and sustaining attention. Each time the breath turns around, reconnect with a little leaning in of energy. Intentionally reconnect with that breath and sustain attention with the breath through the whole cycle of the breath to the next turnaround. Brightening the energy with which we connect. See how bright or clear the connection needs to be in this moment. To be able to not wander away into distraction even once or very little. And we want to use just the minimum amount of effort it takes to stay steady, but not too little, such that we lose connection and the mind wanders. So mindful of breaths that are long or short, connecting and sustaining attention with the breath. Find the volume of connection, the intensity of effort needed to stay undistracted. As you stabilize that contact with breathing in and breathing out, and go to the 3rd step, which is feeling the whole body. Begin by feeling wherever you feel the breath most easily. So that's maybe in the nose, or throat or chest or belly. And connect with the sense of the breath in that whole part of the body. If it's in the belly, feel the whole lower torso. Expanding and contracting with the breath. If it's in the chest, feel the whole upper torso. If the throat, feel the throat. If it's in the nose, very gently, but feel the whole head and neck, perhaps. And then wherever you feel the breath most prominently, begin to stitch together the whole pathway of the physical breath. So you feel the head, neck, upper chest and shoulders, lower chest and diaphragm, belly, low belly and pelvis, all responsive to the movement of the breath. Can you feel the breath moving and feel the whole central column of the body all at once, really? Just presence through the whole column of the body as you breathe. And then maintaining attention still with the in and out breathing, but we're holding the felt sense of the body as well. Expand that felt sense to include the arms, maybe gradually from the upper arms down to the hands, or all at once. And include the arms in the sense of presence, even as you stay with the breath. Maybe now that the whole upper body is included, maybe you let go for the moment of tracking short and long breaths, and there's just the sense of breathing in and out. And more of your attention is resting just in the felt sense of the whole body. From the waist up or the hips up. Can you feel the wave of the breath in the arms? And connecting with the arms, can you still feel the torso? The front and back, the sides, from the head all the way down to the base of the pelvis, and all the space in between. Again, just enough effort to stay undistracted. Neither too much nor too little. And then allowing the legs to join the body. Feeling the legs in whatever posture they're in, whether crossed or folded or kneeling or loose or down. Wherever they are, begin to include the legs, again, either down from the top perhaps, or all at once. So that we stitch together the felt sense of the whole body breathing. Or just the felt sense of the whole body while we track the breath. You don't have to feel the breath in the legs, but you probably will, a little bit. as a soft wave, as the sense of the whole body and the sense of the in and out breath. Both are present. As you connect and sustain with each breath, connect and sustain with the sense of the whole body. Usually what happens when the energy wavers a bit is that the sense of the whole body contracts back down to just the physical breath sensation center, the belly or the chest. And so our task often is to keep the sense of the whole body wide, to keep the attention spacious. Relaxing helps this. And then finally, for the sense of the whole body, you might expand your awareness to the field around the body, maybe a foot or two out, maybe further for some, like a sphere of presence around the body. The field that if someone entered your space by crossing into this field, you would notice, even with your eyes closed perhaps. There's a sense of expanded energetic presence. And again, when concentration weakens or something pulls at the attention, the tendency is for this field to shrink back toward the center. The field itself breathes, and so you can feel the in and out breath moving through this whole field around the body. And play with connecting and sustaining attention. Really sustaining the sense of the expanded field of the body. And the fourth step in the sequence is to relax. To relax any extra tension through the body, through the musculature. Relax the face, around the ears, through the neck and shoulders, through the arms and hands, through the chest, diaphragm and belly, through the low belly and pelvis, relaxing, softening, through the legs and feet. And now we've put together the first layer of the breath meditation. Mindful of the breath in and out, long and short. Intimate with the sense of the whole body. And relaxing the body. With a balanced effort, neither too tight nor too loose. Connecting and sustaining again and again. Brightening the energy as needed. And stretching out the sustain into a relaxed, spacious field of presence. And reconnecting as often as needed. Lastly, you might begin to be aware of a subtle pleasure through the body and the energetic body. If the mind gets a little quiet and the sustain stretches for a little while, just allowing that pleasure to be present, to grow if it wants to. Stay with the sense of the whole body, breathing, relaxing, connecting, sustaining. And we'll sit in silence together from here. And coming to the end of our meditation. If the sense of the whole body has slipped, restore it, just dropping right back in. And come back to the long breath, maybe taking a few deep breaths in and long breaths out. And I'll close our meditation with the homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa 3 times. And you can join if you're in a space where you can make some sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One.